Hi, and welcome to Freedom Rocks. Today we're interviewing Robin Wilt, who is the Democratic candidate for State Senate in the, which district?
56th Senate District.
56th District. She'll be running against Robach. We extended an invitation to Joe Robach, but he could not be with us here today, unfortunately. So we'll be interviewing Robin about her positions on the issues.
My pleasure to be here.
Thank you. All right, so let's get started. Let's start with social questions.
All right.
Where do you stand on the issue of the Ground Zero Mosque?
Wow, we get right into it here, don't we? Well, again, thank you for having me today. I think that our Constitution is pretty clear in terms of freedom of religion and the freedom to exercise your religious freedom. So I honor the right of all religions to practice their religions. So, in terms of building a mosque there, which I understand it is not a mosque, I understand it is an Islamic center where they will be undertaking a number of activities, some of them obviously religious in nature. I think our Constitution is fairly clear, but again, this is a local issue, and I can't speak for the people who live in the area, but as far as the Constitution goes, it's very clear in terms of the rights of the individuals to build a religious institution there.
Okay, thank you. Do you believe that consenting adults have the right to engage in sexual conduct of their choice with other consenting adults?
I absolutely do.
Okay. Let's see. And do you feel that consenting adults have the right to get married, whatever their sexual orientation may be?
I certainly do.
Thank you. Let's move on to some fiscal questions then. New York State routinely faces multi-billion-dollar budget deficits. How would you address this?
Well, I think to any budget equation, there are two sides. There's the revenue side and there's the expenses side. I think for too many years, decades in fact, New Yorkers, the legislature has been trying to balance the budget on the backs of the same working families year after year after year. And this has landed us in a deficit situation because working families don't have any more to give. I am in favor of a progressive taxation structure. I want to point out that many years ago, the highest income earners in New York State were taxed at a rate of about 16.6%, so 16.5%. Today, the highest income earners are taxed at a rate of about 6.1%. So somebody has been, seeing the benefits of lower taxation over the course of time, but it hasn't been the middle and lower wage earners in this state. I think that in this time of shared sacrifice, we needn't retire any taxes that we do have on our highest income earners right now if we're truly talking about shared sacrifice. So I'm in favor of maintaining the elevated tax rates for our higher income earners right now through this fiscal crisis. In addition to that, I think that we should look at alternative sources of revenue, perhaps like the stock transfer tax. This is something that was dismissed by Governor Patterson early on in the budget debate as a source of revenue. But what the stock transfer tax is a very small tax, a hundredth of a percent tax on each transaction that's conducted on Wall Street. And by estimates, this could yield revenue anywhere in the neighborhood of $20 billion to $100 billion. Yet that was taken off the table. Now, I seem to recall as a taxpayer bailing out Wall Street not too long ago, And I think in this time of shared sacrifice, it may be time to re-implement the stock transfer tax, because we did have a stock transfer tax in this state at one point. So that would be one source of revenue that I would absolutely be in favor of revisiting.
Okay. Let's see here. Prevailing wage law prohibits state, county, and municipal governments from saving money by contracting with less expensive, non-unionized businesses. Would you favor repealing this law, or do you support it?
You know, prevailing wage laws. I am in favor. Are we talking about Taylor's law?
It's the prevailing wage law, and I'm not sure what the name is. It basically says that you have to pay the prevailing wage, or contractors that are employed have to pay their employees the prevailing wage.
Well, I do support a living wage for all New Yorkers. I think that we need to revisit our current minimum wage standards, and so I don't think I'm in favor of repealing the prevailing wage laws.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to kind of edit these down for time here. Let's see. Do you believe that repetitive stress injuries are a serious health problem?
I know that we're seeing increasing RSIs, repetitive stress injuries, among the workforce. I do think they represent a health problem. I don't have statistics on how much of a health risk they represent at this point.
Okay, but would you believe that something that was ergonomically designed to eliminate such injuries, do you think it should be illegal? All other factors considered? Do you think that would ever be justified?
If something is not ergonomically?
No, if it is ergonomically designed.
Why would we make it illegal if it were ergonomically designed?
Well, we'll get to that in our next segment because we have to go to this short 2-minute break.
Rachel.
What?
You hit the target both times.
Okay, I think it's my turn. I'm good at this. Okay.
Put it up. You got one, Aaron.
I got one! Yes! I got two.
The Greater Rochester Libertarian Party reminds you that the best way to keep your teens in school and out of trouble is to spend quality time with them.
She shoots like a girl.
Centralization of power in Washington. The Federal Reserve Bank. The income tax. Socialism. The New Deal. Social Security. Wars of aggression. Debasement of the dollar. Printing money out of thin air. Civil disarmament. The war on drugs. Welfare. Domestic surveillance. The Patriot Act. Torture. Enhanced interrogation. Extraordinary rendition. Secret prisons. Presumption of guilt. Liberty is fading. Will you help save her?